am a flight attendant for one of the most prestigious airlines in the world, meaning I get paid. I get paid. I get paid better than most airlines in the world for what I do for a living. It's a commercial airline, and this is actually my second airline. My first airline was a regional carrier. So I'm making this video because if you want to fly for an airline, I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks on how I got hired the first time. The first time. The first time. As I stated before, I worked for a regional airline before, and I now work for a mainline airline. And the biggest difference is regional airlines are regional, so they can only fly in certain locations, whereas a main airline flies everywhere in the world. Wherever their airline flies, you fly as a flight attendant. And it's pretty cool because you get to see the world in a different perspective, and you don't have to pay for hotels and stays. You kind of just only have to pay for your food and stuff. And so I wanted to share some tips and tricks on how I got hired the first time. Yes. When I applied to be a regional flight attendant, I was fresh out of high school, and I really just wanted to get away. It was my escape. I wanted to get away from my house. I wanted to be this independent woman. I just had big dreams, and I couldn't do those things at home. And so becoming a flight attendant was a way for me to explore and live and do my stuff while getting paid and making a living. Lots of people have this dream and ideas. People are living in cars to get this freedom. People are living in schoolies and all these different things so that they have some kind of freedom in their life and there's work-life balance. And I find that being a flight attendant has given me that. And because I was able to get hired the first time at these airlines, I thought it was important that I share the wealth and share the knowledge with you guys as you apply for airlines and as you look to get hired for certain and specific airlines, whether it's private, charter, commercial, whatever. These are some of my tips and tricks that I would recommend that you focus on and lean into during the interview and application process. Let's go. The first thing that I would say is your application. On your application, I used all of my managerial customer service experience to give my application a boost. So it doesn't matter what. Before flying, I was in marketing and I was a writer. I am a writer, and I was in property management. And so I used and leveraged those experiences to get me into the door of where I am today. And I encourage you guys to do the same. So whether you're a waitress or a banker or a mechanic, use your interactions with the public as your basis on why you'll be a good flight attendant. Because flight attendants are kind of caretakers and waitresses and hosts and nurses and therapists and all of these things wrapped up in one when you are a flight attendant and on that aircraft with strangers. And so I would recommend using your experience with the public as your go-to in everything, your application, your interview. Lean on that experience. It doesn't have to be, I used to fly for an airline or I used to work for an airline. Your experience should really focus on how you've interacted with the public, how you've changed and made a difference at your companies, what kind of things that you took leadership in, and making sure that people felt seen and cared for and safe under your care. I think number one is leverage your experience in customer service and working with the public. Let that lead your application and let that lead your interview question. Number two, sorry, that was four. Number two, be pretty. Listen, I don't care what anyone says. People like pretty things. That's why I'm all about Black Girl Pretty, because people like pretty things. Because, pin back clean like this, because when I looked at the flight attendant uniforms online, when I looked at the brand, I looked at how they looked. All of their hair was pinned up pretty neat, and it was like in a bun. There wasn't any what set the brand apart from other flight attendants was that they were very polished. They were very clean in those pictures and in the brand. So I made sure I was clean and polished. My hair was up, and I'm locked, and I got the job. And when I got the job, I was only 2.5 years locked. So my hair, I was budding. I was going through the process. And so I wasn't, it wasn't like this, but you bet your bottom I slicked this hair back and I got that job. I went in there, slicked on back, and clean cut. Okay. So those are so they're like the major things that I did. I got a wristwatch. I made sure that my outfit, my dress was simple and clean and kind of reminiscent of a flight attendant, but not. It was navy. The color that my company that I chose was not navy, but it was still dark color, very flattering. Got that dress at Goodwill, y'all, $6. Okay, $6. Goodwill. Okay. And then I also made sure that my hair was pinned back. I was ready. I already looked like a flight attendant walking. I already had the flight attendant look. I also made sure that I had pretty earrings because I noticed that their flight attendants have jewelry. So I also put on earrings. So the point of all this is make sure that whatever brand you're going for, that you are mimicking what you see in their brand pictures. I think that's a key factor because they can kind of see you in the role already. On to number 3. So this is going to sound funny, but my third thing that I would recommend on how I got hired the first time with both my regional and my mainline carrier was that I smiled. Okay, see all the smiling that I just did? You have to go in there smiling. And people are like, oh, they want me to be somebody else. No, we want you to get the job. Okay, I'm not here to spare your feelings. We want you to get the job. So we smile. We this is my flight attendant smile. I mean, I look friendly. Smile, smile, smile. One thing line had that I wasn't aware of when I did the interview was they used a computer software system to analyze the interview. So it's said. I can't confirm or deny that. But during that on-screen interview process, when I was talking about my experience, I was smiling and talking and having a good old time and being authentic and real, just like you see me today. That is what set me apart, I believe, because I wasn't stiff, I wasn't nervous. You cannot be a nervous, shy flight attendant. Everywhere you go, they're going to look at you and they're going to stare at you, and you have to own that. You have to be comfortable in your skin, and that is what I portrayed in the interview, and which got me to my in-person interview. And so I say the third thing is smile. If you want to land that job, smile. My grandmother always said, show yourself friendly if you want friends. And so I pass that to you. Be friendly, smile. And and I say smile because it's kind of a default friendliness. Like if you're very introverted and very shy, but if you whip out a smile, suddenly you're approachable and warm and welcoming. And because the airline that I work for is very, very serious about branding and how we come off to their customers, it was very important that I showed myself friendly. And the way I did that was smiling. Okay. So if you take away nothing from this video, like if you sped through parts and you just wanted the meat and potatoes on how I got my job with these airlines, take away this with no fluff, just direct. Okay. Number 1. What was that? What was that? Number 1, use your experience with the public to lead everything. Your application, your video interview, your in-person interview. Use your experiences with the public so that they know you know how to handle situations. Because if you think about it, we are in the sky with complete in a tin can flying 500,000 miles per hour. We need to prove that we can de-escalate situations, that we can handle difficult customers, that we can deal with the stress of the job. It is stressful, and many people quit first year. They quit, they can't handle it. And so you have to prove that you can handle that stress. And so use your customer service, no matter what it was, use your public experience situations on how you dealt with the public to get your job. Number 2, look the part, hair up, okay? Oh, look, see, no strands down. It needs to be serious. Here, strap it down, clean it up. You want to put on a little lipstick, put on a little lotion, look polished and clean and ready. Wear a wristwatch, please. Okay, because you're not supposed to be on your phone while you're working, so you wouldn't know what time it was. So you're gonna wear a wristwatch. Okay, wear a wristwatch and be clean cut. Cover up your tattoos. Just be clean cut for your interview. And then number 3 was what we just talked about. I'm doing this so that when you're in the interview and you're all these things, I want you to see my face. I want you to see me like this. Picture, picture me doing this. And that's how I want you to sit. When you find yourself feeling lackadaisy, I want you to sit up, smile, smile at the people. Long, long way. You know, even in my job, there's no people ask me a question. Yes, no, no. Oh, of course. Yeah, I'm smiling, right? Come this way, stand here, right? This clearly this is a motion I do all the time. Stand here, that smile. Suddenly it's not rude. Come this way, stand here. Come this way, stand here. Come this way, stand here. You see the difference? All because I smiled. I'm on to something. I'm trying to tell y'all I'm on to something. You better smile. Okay? I'm V and I'm Black Girl Pretty. And I want you to be too. Deuces. Good luck. Let me know in the comments if you got the job.